Hello and welcome to my kitchen. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a sweet dish called Magaj. This recipe comes from my mom and she makes it exceptionally well. It's absolutely delicious and it's very easy to make as well. So let's get cooking. You'll need 300 grams of Magaj flour or coarse chickpea flour, 200 grams of granulated sugar, 250 grams of ghee, 100 grams of milk powder, and you'll need about a half teaspoon of cardamom powder, 2 to 3 teaspoons of shaved pistachio, and 2 to 3 teaspoons of shaved almonds. Now, all these ingredients and a written recipe is available on my website, milhan.com, so check it out. I have my pan heating here on a medium-low temperature, and that's 4 on my stove. And I'm actually going to add just the ghee in here and let the ghee warm up. Once the ghee has heated up a little bit for about a minute or two, go ahead and add your Magaj flour. Now, Magaj flour is basically chickpea flour, but if you feel it, you can feel some grains in there, and that's what makes this sweet dish special. So go ahead and add that to the ghee and give it a stir. Now this is the consistency that you're going to be looking for. So because I measured out my ghee and the Magaj flour before and I've already tested this recipe, I know that this is exactly how much ghee I need for the amount of Magaj flour that I have. But when you're making this, if it doesn't look this consistency, then do go ahead and adjust the amount of ghee that you have. Go ahead and continue mixing the ghee and Magaj flour mix until it turns into a caramelized brown color. You'll be able to smell the Magaj flour once it's cooked and toasted. It will smell really, really nice. So you can see that it's starting to slowly change color, and that's what should happen. All right, so this is actually coming to be done now. It's been going for about 15 minutes and you can see that it's toasted nicely. It's got this like light caramel brown color. And so now I'm gonna turn the heat down to the lowest temperature. So on my stove, that's 1. And I'm gonna be adding the milk powder. And I'm going to use a whisk to mix that in so that it mixes in really well. So once we've used the whisk to mix the milk powder in, we can revert back to our spoon and give it a stir. And we're just going to cook this in here for a minute before we add the sugar and the nuts and the cardamom powder. Okay, so once the milk powder's been in there cooking for a minute, we're going to add our sugar in with the mix. Alright, so my sugar's mixed in here, and I'm going to add a little bit of the cardamom powder as well into the mix. I'll just save a little bit of the cardamom powder to sprinkle on top as garnish. Now once the sugar is melted in your mix, when you push it to the side like that, you know, you want to look at the mix and see that it's setting like this. So that's what shows that once you're done with the cooking the mix and then you lay it out in your tray, that it will actually set like it should. So that's something to look for when you're mixing. Now this has been going for 2 minutes. Alright, so I turned off my stove and now I'm going to add some nuts to this to add some texture. So I have a pinch of slivered almonds here and some slivered pistachios too. Just sprinkle that and then mix it in. And it smells amazing. And then I like to use parchment paper to line my tray. So I've got a piece of parchment paper here that I measured out, and I'm just gonna fit it into my tray here. Once your tray is lined with parchment paper or greaseproof paper, go ahead and add the mix to the tray. And level it out. Sprinkle the remaining cardamom powder, the pistachio slices, and the almond slices on top to garnish. And press that in. Once that's done, just put it on the side and let it cool completely until it's set. Okay, so my muggage has been sitting there and now it is completely set, and I can feel that it's pretty solid. So I'm going to take it out and get ready to cut it. All right, so now I have this measuring strip here, and you can use a ruler or anything that you have that's pretty straight to make straight lines. So I'm just going to lay that down and cut fairly close to it. Now the difference between muggage and mohanthar is when you cut muggage, you actually get very clean and straight lines. Whereas with mohanthar, it's still a little bit soft. So there is definitely a difference. One of my viewers actually asked me, can you make mohanthar from the muggage flour? And the answer is no. If you have muggage flour, you have to make muggage. If you only have the plain normal chickpea flour, you have to make mohanthar. You cannot exchange it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and definitely try out this muggage recipe. It's absolutely delicious. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up for this video. Check out my website too for the written recipe and a list of the ingredients. I'll see you again very soon for some more cooking inspiration.